Welcome to Science, Health and Healing Library of Children's Health Core. I'm Dr. Majid Ali. The subject of this article is Your Child Hyperactive or Hypercortisolic. Cortisol is one of the major hormones of the adrenal gland. Whenever we are under stress, the adrenal gland is overdriven to try to cope with the biologic and the physiologic consequences of stress. So the cortisol level rises when we are under stress. There should never be any confusion about the role of stress in the lives of children who are diagnosed with ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity syndrome, OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, autism spectrum, Asperger's syndrome, learning difficulties, and the other diagnostic labels that are usually thrown at these children and their parents. I introduced the term hypercortisolic. I recognize that many of these new terms that introduce, they might irk some people, but it is my commitment at this encyclopedia not to dumb people down, rather than to take them to deeper levels of understanding the health, absence of health, and disease continuum. And I can't do that unless I present some hard scientific facts. This segment is part of my series on problems of childhood challenges. The other segments include your child, hyperactive or hypoglycemic low blood sugar, your child, hyperactive or food allergic, your child, hyperactive or mold allergic, your child, hyperactive or insulin toxic. In so many ways, I'm trying to reach the parents and the children and the teachers and the pediatricians, if they're willing to be open to this, to look at the energetic and the metabolic aspects as root cirrhosis, so the bowel to the brain. You can also say that as root cirrhosis, so the liver to the brain. The quality of the blood going to the brain, its oxygen, freedom from acids, freedom from toxins, nutrients, that determines the functions of the brain. Nobody has to be a genius to figure this out. Every time I hear these wonderful scholarly dissertations by people who flash these functional MRI scans to show that there's a problem with the thalamus of these children or there's a problem with atrophy of the brain, I cringe, because I know these people, because I visit their website, I read their papers. They have no interest in the dynamics of the bowel, gut fermentation, mold allergy, food allergy, leaky gut state, excessive production of mold toxin, which directly poison the Krebs cycle, ATP, and energy generation. Brain cells also are driven by energy. Do I need to remind these specialists of childhood problems? You know, the great advantage when you look at these problems of ACD, OCD, autism, Asperger's learning as a metabolic issues, as energetic issues, as issues of toxicities of food environments and thought, because it empowers you. When you accept the diagnosis and then the drugs which come along with it for discipline at school, it disempowers you. There's a fundamental difference in the two approaches. Children's Health Core is a non-profit organization founded by my wife Talat and I some years ago. Our vision was to focus on issues of nutrition, environment, and stress for children all over the world. We are committed to providing authentic information, untainted by corporate deceptions and untainted by activism. Nature does not acknowledge activism. I think it is very unfortunate when activists who are very ill-informed. I sympathize with the parents. They're trying to do the right things. The problem is these activists who, to aggrandize themselves for whatever pathologic impulses they have, they're so ill-informed. And so what happens is that when we talk about these holistic, nutritional, integrative ideas, the credibility is being stretched in the minds of many people. Because many people are so gullible and so innocent that they say, well, if my pediatrician and a school psychologist and a psychiatrist says my child has ADHD, shouldn't I accept it? Because if the viewpoint of the so-called activist in health field was true, why wouldn't it be accepted by mainstream? The activist point of view that doctors do not care, that is sheer nonsense. I'm not defending my profession, I'm just telling you the facts. The doctors once were thoughtful, intelligent, curious, independent thinking young men and women. But unfortunately, they are part of the programs. And the health activists who are ill-informed, they're not helping the situation. Fortunately, there are many people who are very engaged in activism, but they're good scientists. Their nutrition science is valid. They are not ideologues who are pushing their personal agendas. Whatever drives them, I don't know. If you resonate with our vision of authenticity of information for our children all over the world, please support us. Forward this YouTube segment to your email, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn contacts, other media. Should you wish to participate in our larger vision, my wife's and I vision, please go to our website, www.kids123.org. There's a large body of information. Of course, all of that is free of cost. We also offer some educational programs in the video seminar format, free of cost, to schools, social groups, mosques, temples, churches, gurdwaras, mandirs. Thank you for joining me. I hope you will join us again. Until then, may you be gracious, graceful, and generous in your spirit. Thank you so much.